So let's get started with this one. Uh, Kind of an interesting position.
Okay.
So it's white to play, and we are trying to win, of course.
Okay. I'm making you famous on Google, by the way. If you type in your name and hit videos, all the top videos are all my videos now.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't have a lot of ideas on how this like this digital thing works. I mean, I do also follow this stuff, and but I mean, I just don't know how exactly to make it work. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Okay.
Okay. So let me think. Okay, so I haven't been able to figure out what's going on here, but I mean, the problem here, from just me queening the A pawn is that he's playing King G3, H5, H4, H3 mate.
Yes.
And if I take a time, moment to capture G2,
Mhm.
then he's close enough to catch my pawn.
How is he
So,
catching your pawn? Which way?
um, hold on. Before I say that, let me recalculate that one more time just to make sure.
Hmm.
Okay, just you know, the simple king G5 walking all the way across, getting to B7,
So
just
king
in
G.
time to stop my A
Okay.
pawn.
So king G5, king F6, king E7, king D8. This is the way, right?
Or just by grabbing all the white pawns along the way on the fifth rank.
So
Couldn't he
so
just
so
do
you
that
mean
too?
something like this? Okay. All right. Okay.
Something
So.
like this.
Mhm. So
So,
interesting
mhm.
observation because I do believe that there should be some difference. Yeah, if he decides to go like this seems like a much safer way to me because if he decides to grab all the pawns, then white does have some intermediary moves here which can block his path as well. Possible, right?
I don't see how because either whether white pushes D6 or C6,
Mhm.
the king is just simply going to maintain itself. The king is moving towards the left every time one square,
Yeah.
regardless of whether white plays E6 or D6.
Mhm.
So how exactly is he losing the
So
tempo? Maybe
what
okay. I might see one scenario where he has to hold on. Let me think about this for 1 second.
Sure, sure, take your time.
So going the route that you just showed diagonally, right? So G5, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 moves to B7. And if I have to go horizontally, right? So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Still the same thing.
Mhm.
Like whether I go through the square on D5 or D6 or C5 or C6, the
Mhm.
number of squares it takes me to get to B7 looks to be the same as far as I
Yes,
can see it.
yes, definitely. I think it will be the same because the distance doesn't change, yeah, as you mentioned, black is anyway moving to the left side, right?
Right.
But the question is, are all the squares available to black's king? That is what we need to figure out because what I see is so let's just I mean I think I have to take it, yeah. As you mentioned, black could have just played king G3 then. So in this situation, so let's just say a4 and takes and king f5, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
in this situation, if I so it's like a touch and go, yeah. So basically, black is just within the range, I would say, right?
Yeah.
So if I push a4, so he comes here. If I push a5, he goes here. And if I push a6, so here he has to play king c6, right? Basically, it's not like he can grab the pawn and catch the pawn. So imagine if before a5 I push d6, he takes, and now I push c6, he has to take, and now I push a5.
Mm,
So basically now what happens is I think the pawn is still within the range, but black does not have a lot of squares even in this box, right? Where he can put his king.
right. So go back for a second to where the pawn pushes, the white pawn
Yeah.
pushes.
Yeah.
Okay. So which one did you just now show me? If white does what?
E6.
Okay. So basically, what's the problem is that if I just simply play c6, black simply isn't in time to be able to go up quick enough, right?
No, he
So
cannot.
d5, a6. Oh, wow. So one of those sideways steps needs to also be an upward step.
Yes.
Interesting.
So you are going to the left, but if you start grabbing the pawns, then at some point you have to move upwards because it's not going to be exactly like a straight line, yeah?
Right. And it just so happens that, wow, so that upward move needs to occur no later than the C file somehow.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
if he, I mean, he has to take, unfortunately, and now also he has to take, yeah? Like it's not like he has a waiting move also because then this pawn queens.
Right.
So the moment he takes, I do believe that he has to step into this box right now. And when he steps into this box, the next move has to be king c6 because the box keeps growing shorter and shorter, yeah, like smaller and smaller. And I mean, from this box at least, I think black has only this square where his own pawn is standing.
Mm,
So this pretty much rules out the entire horizontal, like straight away coming towards the queen side. Yeah.
hmm.
So we'll
Wow.
go back to the position again and now try to figure out like how exactly we are going to stop this backwards situation as well.
Right. Interesting. Okay. Well, then, yeah, then the answer is actually pretty easy now. So I just need to stop that diagonal step, diagonals, sorry, upward, that northwest step, basically, from the king. And e6 is already stopped, d6 is already stopped, c6 is stopped. Whenever he gets close enough to those pawns, I will do that trick that we just looked at to stop the upward step there. The only one we need to stop is basically f6, so I need to play f6 first.
Yes, you're going to start with f6 first. And
Mm-hmm.
this should solve everything because unfortunately now black has to take it. He cannot even hope to do this because we just take and promote and it's
Mm-hmm.
a check as well. So it's just too slow for black. And the moment he takes, okay, now this route is blocked and we already figured out what happens if he comes this way. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So we just go a4. So takes. Sorry, we have to start with king g2, my mistake. So we start with king g2, king g5, a4, takes, and now we start. So the moment he comes here, we push d6 here.
Right.
And he takes, so we go c6, and the king cannot catch the pawn. Yeah.
Okay, so can we backtrack again? All of the beginning?
Yeah.
What just happened? So, we wasted a move with f6.
Yes.
So black wasted a move with g takes f, right?
Yes.
So in the previous line,
Hmm.
we just simply played a4. And like
We
where is black losing a move all of a sudden in this line? How is he losing
actually
a move?
actually that's the point right here. Black is not losing a move. Black is just unable to come to a square. That's the whole point. I
Hmm.
I mean, let's just retrace our steps back. Yeah. So if we take this, so the point was he was going here. So this is where we start the pawn race, right? So
Yeah.
we push. So we played a move on the queen side. So he takes,
Hmm.
we take, and he decides to go horizontally. So here you can see actually, I mean, if we draw this line, yeah. So the rule says that black's king should already be within the box when this happens. Okay.
Hmm.
And you can see black's king is within the box, like he is perfectly placed in this situation. So now we go a4. So now this becomes the box. So black still has one square to approach it. So he does approaches it in this one. And now we don't play the move with the pawn. We are not doing anything. So I just made a move with this pawn. You also made a move with this pawn. So no harm done. I again made a move with this pawn. You again made a move with this pawn. So nobody's losing any tempo. But the thing is,
Right.
when I play this, you are technically still within the box, but the next move, you cannot come within the box.
Right.
So it's not like losing a tempo, it's more about like not having access to the only square that you need.
Mm, got it. Okay.
Okay.
So that makes sense now. So basically, when black took on f6,
Hmm.
he didn't lose any moves, but rather took away black's ability to step into that box at that point on f6
Exactly.
to get
So
into that box. Okay, that
yes.
makes sense.
So exactly. So basically, if we take directly king g2, king g5, a4, so this will be like black's way to catch the pawn. So now you can see black is actually within the box. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he definitely will catch the pawn. And when we do this, he just goes here, we go here, he goes here, and he actually catches us right on time.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I also tried figuring out like if in this position, if this move will work. So basically taking away this square, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here he takes, but now he doesn't have to go here in particular. He can come out as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he
Right.
definitely catches us.
Wow, it's interesting
So
because
that is the
now he's
yeah.
actually going up and then down and has to go back up again, but somehow
Yeah,
he's not losing
yeah,
because
he's not losing because
because the C and B files are completely open. He's somehow able to come back right in time by stepping up again.
yes, exactly.
Interesting.
Yes, exactly the point. So what I realized is in this situation, it's not about like if black is able to make it to the within the box or not, but it's more about blocking his paths to the queen side. So that's why we physically start with f6 to make sure that black cannot get this route back
Mm-hmm.
because his own pawn is here. Yeah? So basically now if he goes here and if he tries to come around, then he will be a move short.
Mm,
Okay, I'm actually sorry. Again, I'm making the same mistake. So I should take king g2 first,
right.
king g5, and so now when if he tries to come around this way, yeah, you can see now the moment I play e4, I mean a4, he will be within this box, yeah. So this will be the range.
Mm-hmm.
So he cannot get anywhere within this range. Like there is no way he can come here.
Right.
So he has to make a decision here to step into the at least into this zone. So to
Mm-hmm.
get into this zone, the only square is either f5 or f4. Doesn't matter actually. I mean, even if he plays f4, a4, and now this is going to be the box, yeah?
Yeah.
So he has to come here because he wants to step into the zone the moment I play a5. But I just wait now. I don't play a5. I play d6.
Mm.
So he takes. I play c6. So now both his squares are obstructed by his own pieces. So he is failing to make it here now. So within this box, basically.
Mm. Interesting.
So very interesting problem, and it deals with like
Yeah.
many of the king pawn endgame themes that we have seen. Like you can say some sort of a breakthrough, some sort of a pawn race, some sort of a checkmating net, and also obstruction as well.
Yeah. No, this is really interesting. I don't know if I necessarily have seen something quite like this exact thing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is not like from a practical game or something. It's a composed study, yeah, like kind of a like imagined position.
Yeah.
But obviously this really deals with like a lot of interesting stuffs that we already had covered.
Right.
So
Right.
I just thought we should like definitely have a look at this one because it's really a very nice position in general.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so maybe we can go for one more, Rafi. I think we would have some time, yeah?
Sure.
Sure, okay. All right. Just give me 1 second. So this is something which I mean, I'm not exactly sure if we discussed it or not, but if we did, do let me know. But anyway, probably it will be fun to just go through it again as well.
Okay.
So this one is white to play. So the point was we have to like find how white should play in this position. Obviously, we are trying to equalize this position, and like we have to make it a draw.
You said it was white to play, right?
Yes.
And white's trying to draw. Wait. White, is that what you said? White is trying to draw?
Yes, yes, of course.
Okay.
I mean, white can never win this, even if black did not have the a pawn. So
Because of the tactical situation right now, right?
because of the tactics right now, or else it's a simple draw.
Right. I haven't been able to come up with any solution, but I have some ideas
Okay.
that I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
I'll share those with you. So, one drawing idea I think is to try to win that A pawn.
Okay.
Like, if I give up my knight for the A pawn,
Okay.
like somehow rook gets A pawn and he gets my knight,
Mm-hmm.
I think I should be able to hold that draw because I got an extra pawn and rook and bishop versus rook should be just in general, it's a draw, I think.
I mean,
So,
okay, rook and bishop versus rook is not so easily drawn, but yeah, I mean, if the defending side knows his technique, then yes, of course, it's going to be a draw.
right, especially that I have an extra pawn also on top of that, on
That's
f3.
an additional benefit for sure.
So that's what I'm going for because everything else looks kind of almost impossible.
Mhm.
So if I could somehow get my rook to a6, then I believe I could accomplish that.
Okay.
Somehow forcefully get rook a6 in because that would keep him from playing any kind of bishop b6 type of stuff as well.
Mhm.
Because the moment he takes with check on f2, king will go to g3 or g1, at which point bishop b6 to protect the rook and the pawn is not going to work because I just will take the bishop.
Yeah, okay.
So, um, you know, that's what I'm thinking. So I've considered like moves like rook a c6, but I don't think that's gonna work because
He takes
um
first, yeah, straight away.
say that again.
I mean, if you start with rook c6, he can just take on f2 and go back to a2, yeah,
Right.
directly.
And protect, yeah.
Hmm.
So I looked at a move like rook d5 as well, hitting
Okay.
the bishop and also threatening d7 check. Um, but I think after that he can play.
The problem with moves like rook d5 and stuff is black can just play bishop b6 as well. Yeah, he doesn't have to
Right.
even. I mean, he can obviously take the knight directly, but he doesn't have to do it. He can even play bishop b6 and win the knight anyway. The next move.
Um, After rook d5, he can't play bishop rook f2 though, right?
He can play rook f2 as well.
Um, oh, right, because I'm not really threatening rook takes b6 or anything anymore.
Yeah, like let's just say you play something like this,
Yeah, he'll
because
just play bishop b6 or
yeah,
something.
so you play this, and when you give a check, he doesn't have to come here, yeah, so that you can take this. He will just go here, and we don't have any checks, and we cannot do anything as well.
Mm, right. So I also considered the rook checks, like h5, for example.
Hmm.
But mm,
So basically, it does not work. Yeah, rook h5, king g6, and
right,
nothing.
yes, basically that's the problem. Yes. So
So we have to defend the knight.
right, I haven't even looked at some of those moves yet. I just briefly looked at king g3 and I realized that he may have um some type of bishop b6 or something. But
So now bishop b6 means white has rook h5 and rook
oh yeah,
h2, by the way.
right.
So somehow I'm able to defend, yeah.
um, yes,
Because
interesting.
now
Yes,
you don't have a check, I have f4.
yeah,
So basically, this is actually the right way, but the main question is, what do we do after rook f2 directly?
yeah. So we have to.
Go rook h5, like
um,
I don't see any other defense. We need to
mm,
move the rook away from c5.
mhm.
And then he has to play king g6 as well. Because if he goes somewhere here, I just pick up the, yeah, I mean, just pick up the rook, yeah?
Rook, yeah.
Yeah, but then what? Now what to?
Mm,
So we now have to basically attack the
play rook.
bishop.
Yeah, we need to play rook d5 now.
Yes, rook d5 is the only move right now. Because if
Yes.
we go something like rook h8, then he just plays rook d2, yeah?
Yeah.
So rook d5, okay. Bishop b6 is forced.
Now we play rook d6.
Rook d6. King f5 is forced.
Take the bishop.
Take the bishop. Rook f3.
King f3.
King f3, ab6.
Wait. Was rook f3 a check? Yeah, it was check. Okay, yes.
So king f3, ab6.
Um, e3.
So e3, e5. Like black still has the
e3.
black still has the opposition.
Okay, c3.
And king c5.
King b3.
King b5.
Hmm. Um,
This is just basic stuff, and black is just winning.
yeah. Wow.
So actually, Rafi, you were right here. So, I mean, your instincts were correct. In this position, we don't take it. We just play king g2 first.
Oh, wow. It's crazy.
So after he takes, now we take. So now white has the opposition. and this
That's
draws.
insane.
Because if he just keeps coming here, okay, even though he is in front of the pawn, but white has the opposition. Yeah,
Okay, can we go back to that before capturing on f3 one more time?
yeah, sure.
Okay, so yeah, take on f3,
Hmm.
king g2.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm just trying to think of, so what if, I guess the a pawn is a drawn pawn, right? Because my king
Definitely.
is just gonna get in
Yeah, like if you try to win something, I mean, the rook end game, it's an easy draw because white just goes here and just brings the
behind the
king.
pawn and then just checks forever. You can
Yeah,
never create any kind of blockade, basically, right?
yes. I mean, I don't think we need to even do anything in this position. Just we can bring the king directly towards the a pawn.
Yes.
And as you
Okay.
mentioned, yeah, like we can always go behind the pawn, rook to a8, and black has no improvement.
Right. Yeah, makes sense.
So if that is drawn, then yeah, this is the this is the solution. So again, a position from where we look at this position, like it's very difficult to imagine that the whole hidden idea is in a king pawn endgame, yeah, at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no chance I would have seen that from here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, exactly. That's why we are anyway, doing this. I mean, basically discussing these kind of complex endgames, yeah, so that these kind of ideas they get refreshed constantly because we have done the theoretical part, so that kind of makes it definitely easier to approach these positions. But
Right.
apart from that, we
Yep.
still have to like trust our calculations and find all these stuffs, which is difficult, obviously.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, all right, Rafi. I think let's finish for today.
Okay.